Irish skin used to be as white as vanilla ice cream, but that's not true anymore. More than 500,000 of the people who live here were born overseas, and they're a mad mix of 199 nationalities and speak 182 different languages. Immigration kicked off in the 1990s. Now the kids of that first wave have grown up Irish. But what does Ireland even mean to them? Do they get the same chances in life as everyone else? Or do they live in the shadow of racism and abuse?
I used to always just fantasise about being white because I just wanted to fit in.
Called the nigger a black bastard.
No, we are not ISIS. No, we don't want to kill people.
And it's annoying. It's 2016.
And with the migrant crisis gripping Europe, is Céad Míle Fáilte about to become Céad Míle Fuck Off? In an industrial unit on the western edge of Dublin, a mixed-race singer and actress from Tala is teaming up with dancers from South Africa, Tobago and Ireland in a video for Afro-Irish rapper Slick Bullet.
You can take from different cultures and bind them all together and make an awesome, beautiful video.
It's what we love doing, isn't it, really, the music and all the creativity that comes with it.
Yeah. Next move, we want to get the female dancers out on the floor. We want to get them shaking what their mom gave them. And hopefully they're ready.
I'm delighted like that, obviously, that the cultures are mixing together, like, you know what I mean? The Africans are mixed in with the Irish, and then there is a lot of mixed race people around as well. Like.
Is this a dance-off, yeah? Is this going to be a dance-off, yeah?
I've lived here for 26 years now. I moved out from London when I was 6. I'm actually mixed between Jamaican and Irish. I obviously don't look Irish, like, you know. My grandmother was a traveller, so I've got a bit of traveller in my blood as well. Heinz 57. 57 varieties. I would have been brought up in Jobestown. My mum was a lone parent when she moved here from London.
Well, I do remember, you know, into the first year or two, yeah, herself coming in and saying, "Man, I hate this country, can we go back to England?" You know? And, you know, she must have been feeling the wrath of the prejudice.
I think being in school was the hardest, like, you know, to be honest. I just think from a very young age, I just copped on to that very fast like that. I was different and that was that. I remember when I was very young, I used to always just fantasise about being white because I just wanted to fit in, like I just wanted to be like everybody else, you know. That was for a long time, you know. I used to have to witness my sister fighting gangs of fellas, getting spat on and stuff, you know. That wasn't nice to see. I always felt very pushed out. Never felt like I was part of the class group, like, you know. I always felt like I was different to everybody else. I was kind of always shown that you don't matter. Do you know what I mean? That's how I felt growing up. I never forget the time I was whipped in the field over in the Glenshine fields. About 12 young fellas came out of nowhere and started whipping me with loads of whips.
When there was only the half-caste children in the country, it was bad enough, you know. But the blacks coming in now and the foreigners, yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's heightened up that racism, yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
A lot of the children that would have been calling me nigger and that as well over the years. Obviously, I used to always think that as well, like that they can't just get these words from themselves. Like, obviously, they heard it from an older source or something, you know?
Yeah.
So
90% of society are generally okay. Most people, they'll just accept you for who you are, yeah, do you know what I mean, yeah? It's just that 10%. But that small group of people is a big group.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, yeah? And they can create some serious damage.
So when I was first here, it wasn't like it is now. You know, there was only me and one other black dude that I knew of. So you just have the odd confrontation, you know? You get called a packy every now and again. I used to hate when kids called me packy. Remember one kid called me a packy, I got suspended. Smacked him. So I was a little, you know, I was a bit of a kind of a, Muslim standards, I was very bad, you know, a bit of a hooligan or whatever. You know, I used to curse a lot and so on. Bad language, didn't know much about my own religion.
My name is Adam Sabah. I'm 27 years old. Born and raised in Ireland. My parents are originally from Syria, so I consider myself an Irish, Syrian Muslim. Nearly every Saturday now for the last couple of years, we hand out leaflets about Islam. set up actually initially by another person. He set it up after 9/11. Muslims they were getting a lot of hostility anyway. The table is right in front of the GPO. You know, people have said you're insulting our heritage by setting up a table there. You know, I think that's a bit ridiculous. We're not trying to insult. We want to do it in a place where the most people walk by. That's all it is.
If you have 2 minutes, I can speak to you about it. Thank you.
Staunchly Catholic, thanks, buddy.
All right, bro. All the best. We offer people leaflets, say, how you doing, sir? Madam, can I offer you some free information about Islam? And one of the ladies passed by, she said, get away from me, ISIS. She kind of gave me a dirty look and walked away. When a group of people are stigmatized by the media, people react to it, which is sad. No, we are not ISIS. No, we don't want to kill people. And no, we don't want to take over the country.
With all of your heart, and he be friend of you. My friend of yours. You're modern and raping Catholics everywhere and Christians all around the world.
That's not true.
Listen, Godfather, I'm Canada. I am a Christian crusader. And I'm an ex-combatant from Newry, ex-combatant.
Okay.
Ex-combatant. And you'll be among the first. You'll be among the first.
First what?
So what do you want to do there? Do you want to convert us? You can't.
What we're here to do.
You're not in Sweden. You're not in Germany. You'll meet the IRA soon enough.
You know, mate, you try and be calm.
I just wondering what's going on, and everybody's watching the news and all the murders of children and women getting raped in Germany and Sweden and all, and people are afraid here in Ireland as well of what's going on. And that's my first time ever really meeting Muslims, and he says, well, not all Muslims are the same. He was friendly.
You came up and you were a bit hostile, to be honest. And you threatened me a lot, like.
No, I was.
Me and you, we're not that different, right?
He explained to me that not all Muslims are ISIS and Al Qaeda, so he's happy enough, and I shook his hand. That was it then.
What's your name? Shane. Have a nice day.
When I first came here, I was 2 years old and I came straight from Nigeria. I'm always conscious of how I dress. I'm always trying to not dress too intimidating. So I don't put on a hoodie, so I don't want to scare people. Like, no one says you're scary. Nobody's saying that you're gonna rob me. Nobody's saying that you're dangerous. It's already in my head as a black person here. See, on the bus, if I was to sit down next to an Irish lady, she'll tuck her purse closer to her. Now, some people may say she'll do it to anybody, but if that person does it to you one day, then someone else does it to you the next day, and the next day. See, this is something that we encounter as black people here, but it doesn't happen to everyday Irish people. I was about 6 or 7. I remember kids used to make jokes like Cocoa Pops boy, or I don't want to touch your dirty skin. A lot of people may not have a lot of experience with people of colour. I would think it's a bigger chance of you experiencing in-your-face racism if you're in a working class area, inner city Dublin, city centre. It's odd because these areas tend to be far more integrated and multicultural. So if I'm walking down an area like Blanchardstown or Tala, I'm aware that there's a bigger chance of little kids calling me a nigger on the street than if I'm walking down Fox Rock or Black Rock or Rathfarnham. In the middle class area, the racism is far more subtle. I'll be getting second looks. I'll be getting suspicious looks. What is he doing here? Definitely not from this area. The changing of voice, the assumptions people will make when they come across you. Currently, I'm a one-year law student and I am running for president to be the first ever black student union president in DIT and I would assume the country. One of the main reasons why I'm running for president is due to the fact there's no representation of us. Due to the fact that when I was growing up, I didn't see someone like me in a position like I am in right now. There is an Afro-Irish community. We've been here for nearly 20 years, and yet we don't have a voice.
Not everyone is happy with the immigration situation in Ireland. Peter O'Loughlin is the leader of Identity Ireland, a new political party who are demanding stricter controls on immigration. Last year, he got almost 1,000 votes in the Carlow Kilkenny by-election.
Hi, how are you keeping? My name's Peter O'Loughlin.
Oh.
Hi, how are you keeping?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were a pizza delivery.
Oh, no.
Now Peter's running in the general election on his home turf, Cork City.
We weren't going to apologise for holding views that weren't popular, whether it was on the euro or on immigration or any of these. And we just said, look, we'll come out and we'll be strong. We're not going to be politically correct. We're going to be honest. I think that there are tens of millions of youth unemployed in Europe.
Are you for or against migrants?
Oh, we're against mass immigration. Mass immigration is bad, and we want border controls. Like, borders are just a natural part. They're a natural part of human society. If you continue with this sort of mass immigration, it's going to cause so many social structural problems. It's going to be unreal. We're going to face very dire consequences in the future, and it's absolute lunacy. You don't go stop a certain group. I mean, you treat everybody as an individual, and then if they pass the criteria, then you come. If you don't pass the criteria, then it has to be taken into account that there won't be a major influx of people from the Islamic world because, it just doesn't make sense. There will be no saying no Muslims, but I mean, I think with the proper controls in place, there wouldn't be a lot coming in. Well, one lad who I gave a thing to say, who's that? I was like, Identity Ireland. He's like, oh, that's a racist group. I was like, oh, for God's sake. And he was Irish, so look.
We're not anti anyone. We're just saying we have to control it so that we know the people that are coming into our country are good people. Simple as that,
In Ireland there's over 5,000 Romas. Irish people see Roma people begging on the street. They automatically think we all are like that. People don't know our situations. We have been labelled with a bad name. I'm 20 years of age now. I was born in 1996 in Romania, and I am Romanian by nationality, but I'm Roma by culture. In the Roma culture, 20-25% are actually born-again Christians. My father is a part of the setup of this church. He is the leader and the pastor of the church. But even if we are in a new country, we still continue to be Romas. So we're not losing that. We are trying to preserve the culture. There's newcomers coming to the country, the people that are here for 10, 15 years. Because there is more Roma people coming to Ireland, Irish people want the bad ones out, I can say. And they don't give us a chance to actually prove ourselves good. Really, as a kid, I always wanted to be a guard. I've seen the way they're protecting minorities. I like protecting my own, and it's one of my dreams. I've seen some of the online abuse that's going on, and it's really negative. People are actually trying to make a riot against Roma people. They should be killed off, in my opinion. They don't benefit the world. This sounds very racist, but it's realistic. Anything to get these good-for-nothing animals out of the country, round them all up and fuck them out. Just resurrect Hitler for a few days, he'll get the job done. Jesus, man. It's people like them that you should be scared of. Get 10, 20 of them in one place. You could get a Roma family killed overnight. Just wondering, because as an Irish citizen, I want to make sure I throw my petrol bomb at the right house with children inside. I actually can't believe people not only say it, but could think of that. does worry me, it does frighten me. That is one of the reasons I want to be a guard as well. You know, our community needs someone that can help them against discrimination like this.
When I first moved to Ireland from Egypt, it was really different. Moving from Africa was like just jumping into a new world. In Ireland, I'm different, and in Egypt, I'm also different because to people in Egypt, I'm an Egyptian, but I'm not really Egyptian because I've been living abroad for so long. But in Ireland, obviously, I'm very different. I'm not like blonde or anything like that. But I do feel like I'm Irish. I do feel like I do belong here. Keeping my connection to Egypt because I met an Egyptian guy about 6 years ago. We recently got married and we're hoping to live together in Ireland and start our life here. I have to be patient getting a visa from the Middle East for my husband because paperwork nowadays is quite hard. It's not like it was years ago. Nowadays, after what's been happening in Europe and in the Middle East and everything, things have changed. For some people, their initial reaction would be like, oh, they're Muslim. They don't have to say something, they can just look at you, and even looks could kill, really, you know? Myself and a friend of mine were physically abused on public transport. It was a group of girls. They were screaming things like, watch until I take that thing off her head. You effing this, you effing that, you effing Muslim. I'm gonna kill you. And then after we got off the bus, they followed us. And they just attacked my friend because I just turned around and they had pulled her headscarf off. There was about 5 people attacking her, kicking her back and her stomach and everything. Everyone stood there, nobody did anything. And she was obviously traumatized because she feels like, you know, why is this happening? You know, this is happening because we're Muslim, and this is because this is happening because of who I am. But we feel like we're very vulnerable, you know. It really does get to me. It really does. Especially when I see someone being abused and I can't do anything about it, because I know exactly how it feels when nobody's doing anything to help you.
Islam should be banned, in my opinion.
A jihad is coming, and it's going to be huge.
Say it clear! Refugees are welcome here!
What's going on?
We won't be silent.
This makeup that I'm applying here right now is the cheapest of all. From the 149 shop, it's a bargain. Your skin be totally different then. Lighter people's, you only put a small bit on theirs. I've always been different, you know. That's one thing I've always been, is different.
Confidence-wise and stuff like that, like I would have had a very, very low self-esteem, like very low self-esteem. I wouldn't have really loved myself really as much as I should have, and like that, I kind of would have let people take advantage of me and stuff like that. I would have been very vulnerable in that way, like, you know. All through my youth, really, like, music would have been a thing for me. Like, if I was in school and things went wrong in school, I'd come home and I would put on the music and I would sing my heart's content, and that would just melt away all the stress and the pain. Things you do for your passion. Yeah.
For your friends.
That's it. It was either make or breaking kind of thing. Either I was going to just be depressed for the rest of my life, or I was going to deal and try to heal things. Like, although them stories are still there with me, I'm not as upset or angry about them as I used to be. Like, I think I actually own being different. I love it. I'm a now one now. So's my friends, so it's all good. It's not the same as when we first moved over here. Like, you know, like, there's so many different mixed race kids now. It's unreal. Like. So where are you from?
From Cameroon.
Cameroon?
Yes. I've been in Dublin since 2007.
Like, what do you think of living here? Like, how'd you find Ireland? Like,
Ireland is a great place to live. Only thing is, you'll get some bad apples. You'll be driving by, somebody stopped you and it's raining. They will literally bend down and they look at you, you're black, and they said, no, they don't want to get into your taxi. And it's hard at times.
Yeah, that's very discriminating. Like that's not right at all.
Yeah. I need to make a living and stay positive.
Of course, it's hard kind of trying to mix in with culture when you're different, like, you know?
Yeah, it's true. It's really hard.
We should all just be treating each other equally, like we're citizens of the world, like we all come from the world, so we're all the same, like, you know?
In Europe, I think things have changed in the past 2-3 years, ever since ISIS kind of showed up. God knows where they came from. Actually, I believe they're actually not Muslim, okay? Because they do not follow anything that Islam says. They genuinely don't. Like some people, they just don't know anything about you and you're just gonna have to live with it, really. People have the idea of us women as oppressed, which is really wrong, and no matter how much you explain to people, they don't understand. Some people think that we wear the scarf because we're forced into it. I'm not forced into anything, actually. We actually have a lot of rights in Islam.
Elham got married last year in Egypt, and a big wedding party is planned for this summer. But her husband Mohammed's visa still hasn't arrived.
But she's getting married, like. I'm looking forward to it because, like, she's my best friend. She's getting married to the love of her life. The guy's amazing. She's a gorgeous person as well. So, like, it's kind of scary because it's like, oh my God, my friends are getting married now. I had a surprise bridal shower for her in my house. And when she came in, she started crying because, like, all our friends were there.
I felt really loved by my friends. She's a friend to keep, honestly.
Oh, that's so cute!
She's always been there when I really needed a shoulder to cry on. Mohammed was telling me that our visa process isn't going as planned. We might have to live apart for a while after our wedding celebration. It's not the best of news.
What did she reject then?
The actual application.
Is there a reason?
No, they're just asking for lots of detailed, basically everything about your life and how you got to know each other and stuff.
You can let them contact me, I'll tell them everything.
Yeah.
No, honestly.
Yeah, it's just really annoying. Living apart is really, really hard. Your partner is not there when you need them. Good or bad times, you need them there, and it's just difficult to live with that.
Guten Abend, Dresden.
In January, Peter O'Loughlin travelled to Germany to address a rally of Pegida, an organisation who protest against what they call the Islamification of Europe.
Racist, fascist, extremist, Islamophobe, blah, 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 blah. Same nonsense every time.
Today in Cork City, Peter is launching the Irish branch of Pegida in the company of supporters of Identity Ireland, like Ian Peake, born in England, now living in Kilkenny.
It was purely to do demonstrations against radical Islamists, okay, and the building of mosques and that kind of stuff, and the building of like Muslim schools where only Muslim children will be taught. So Identity Ireland got official Pegida back, and so basically it's just to announce that there's going to be a demonstration next week as part of the pan-European-wide demonstrations that are going across 12 countries, 15 countries, 15 countries.
Islam should be banned, in my opinion. I mean, they say, you know, the community of them integrate. They don't integrate. We don't wear burqas. We don't wear, you know, hijabs. How are they integrating into our society? That's not Irish culture. My Polish neighbours are both Christian like me. They come here to work. They live by our rules. They don't expect any special treatment. That's what you call integration. Muslims do not do that.
I'm here today because I'm European, and I'm afraid of the future of my children and about the future of all Europeans.
Peter has invited Tommy Robinson, the controversial former leader of the English Defence League and now a leading Pegida member in the UK, to speak at the launch.
A minority of Muslims have already launched a war against us. A jihad is coming, and it's going to be huge. And the numbers are increasing and increasing and increasing. 4% of my country is Muslim. What does anyone in the world think it's going to be like when it's 34%? That's not that far off.
Despite a last-minute switch of venue, the launch has attracted the interest of protesters.
When I hear people spreading anti-Islamic propaganda, I just thought maybe there was some way of talking, having some dialogue. Are they all just these two-headed monsters, or are they, can you talk to them?
You can't say to everyone, come to Europe, everyone in the world won't fit in Europe. Physically,
So if bomb is
never mind
falling on
financially.
your family, what do you do? If you have no money to buy food, what do you do?
They don't want to integrate. They have a different mindset.
They just want a life here. I've spoken to some of these people who are living in Calais, right? They have no time for ISIS. They have no time for Daesh.
We could all come up with anecdotal stories, but that'll teach you nothing. You have to make policies based on the overall, the lessons the overall picture tells you.
See, we're perfectly reasonable people. We're not fascists, we're not violent, we're not trying to... We don't go into meetings and shut people down like they try and do. That's not how freedom of speech really works or democracy should work, really, is it? So,
A protester has come in to observe the launch.
I'm a member of the public, I'd like to see what's going on. Is that okay?
No, because it's a private meeting now. Fuck off.
Excuse me?
Yeah?
Don't get aggressive with me.
I'm not getting aggressive with you, I'm just telling you how it is. You're not welcome. Sit down and shut up then.
Don't speak to me like that.
I'll speak to you how I want.
Okay.
If you don't like it, stop me. Mug.
Ian, I know they're going to pick up on that.
We go down camera.
Oh, God, I know.
Stay calm at all times. If the camera's not there, fucking punch geezers round here.
Every single rational person across the European continent can recognise that we are in severe trouble. From the migrant invasion, from the insidious influence of the Islamic expansionist ideology, it's actually put us in peril. If we can educate people, force our government to take action against political Islam, against radicalism and extremism, future generations will thank us for it. It was Erdogan who said, when he talked about minarets and mosques, he called them like the helmets, the bayonets of the Muslim advance into Europe. It's a representation of power. And, personally, just even from a cultural viewpoint, I don't want to hear a call to prayer ringing out over Cork 5 times a day. I know I don't even feel I need to explain that. I just don't want it.
People in Ireland should be looking to the UK, they should be looking to Europe, and they should be trying to learn from our mistakes, because we've made a hell of a lot of mistakes. We've left our countries in many communities in ruin. We have polarised communities, segregated communities, we have Islamic ghettos. We've had 360 Muslims arrested on terrorism last year. We're too fearful of standing up for who we are, our identity, too weak to say that our culture is superior.
If it's radical to say that I'm against the killing of innocent people, but I don't apologise for actions I didn't commit, I guess you can say I'm radical. I don't go up to Christians and say apologise for the KKK. I know it has nothing to do with all of the Christian people. I don't want things to happen in the future where my wife and my daughter have to make a decision to, practice their faith or, leave the country. And that's something that I think everybody in Europe is starting to think about and worry about. Won't be able to. Like what happened in France, for example. They ban the burqa, they ban all these things. Maybe in the future they make it illegal for a woman to wear a headscarf. They might say you might hide a bomb in there or something stupid like that. You get the feeling that anti-Islamic sentiment is there. It's a small group, or maybe the numbers are growing nowadays. It's just shocking how stupid people's views can be. In fact, I heard there's going to be a protest against Muslims in Ireland. I heard a few of them are English as well. So they're a bunch of English guys telling the Muslims to leave the country. You know what I mean? That's the pot calling the kettle black, as they say. I was born and raised in Ireland. If I had to leave Ireland, I would feel like I left my home.
I was raised by my grandparents back in Romania. My mother and father, they're here since 2000. She doesn't really speak to me about this, but from what I heard from my father, it was really hard for her to leave me behind.
Before 2007, we didn't have the freedom to travel, and that's why I was not able to see Ricardo for 7 years. I think that was the hardest part in my life, to leave Ricardo. This is Ricardo back home with my mother and my father. My father used to send us just pictures with him. I had them in my bag, I showed them to everybody. If I talk with Irish people, they only know two things about Roma, that we are begging and we are thieves. When I came to Ireland, I begged and I sell flowers in the street. It's very hard, but I knew I had Ricardo back home. I knew we had to do something to survive, so I begged. But in the meantime, like I was begging, but also I was learning English. I knew that I cannot have this life. I cannot beg forever. When people are speaking with us, they always think Roma beg because this is what is in their culture. It's not the truth. You know, we have chefs, we have people who own takeaways, we have, lots of people, but you don't recognize them as a Roma, and they don't want to say that they're Roma. I have the feeling that people sometimes hate us.
I wasn't sure how people would react if I told them I was Roma. At the start, when I first came here in Ireland, I was hiding it. I was called a tinker, I was called a gypsy, back in school. Me and my mother, we were followed around the shopping centre by the security for no reason whatsoever. It was just upsetting. My friends were all kind of surprised when they heard that I wanted to be a guard. But I just want to give a hand for the Roma people that are here in Ireland. So I'm doing a lot of studying at the moment and I'm putting in 100%. I hope that's going to work out.
Joey Hearns, man. Man, I'm gonna need you again this year, bro. Elections are coming up, bro.
It means so much to me to win this. Putting the political part of it aside, on the personal level, it's an achievement which someone like myself has never reached in this country. It's never been done.
I know how it feels to be mistreated for being different. It's something that we're fairly used to, and it's annoying.
Well, what did I miss? What did I miss? Tell me now. What did I miss?
Looking back at me at, 9, 10, in class, I was always wondering who's going to sit next to me, who was sit beside the black boy. It made me feel like, for some reason, I'll have to impress everyone else in the class that are white. So, whether it be to talk better, to behave better.
What's the story, guys? My name is Bonnie, like Bonnie and Clyde, but I'm a lad. And I'm running to be your next president of the Students' Union. When was the last time any of you guys were stopped by a SU official to be asked about anything to do with SU policies or issues? Or even asked, how do you feel being in the lovely, homey brewer?
Everybody else just kind of blends in, you know what I mean? But because you see Bonnie and it's like a big face and it's just like a whole appearance about him, you're just like, oh, that's the guy. You have people that are like different nationalities that are like, oh, I don't feel like this is for me. I don't feel like this. And then Bonnie would come here and say, oh, look, I'm doing this. If I can do this, you can do this. Especially the whole first black Ditsu type thing. That's like Bonnie Obama. I like it's like a Obama type story that he has here.
I want to show that Ireland has moved forward, that it doesn't matter what background, where you're from, what your beliefs are, you can make something of yourself if you put your heart and soul into it. And I want to be living proof of that.
Oh my God! Stop! Don't fight it. That's what they want.
Tommy Robinson, formerly of the English Defence League, has travelled to Cork to help Peter O'Loughlin launch anti-Islam group Pegida Ireland and to announce a rally against what they call the Islamification of Europe.
We have decided to join with our European brothers and sisters by demonstrating in Dublin on the 6th of February. This will link in with mass demonstrations happening in 15 countries across Europe, at which we hope to give the Irish people the opportunity to voice their concerns in a peaceful, proactive manner against economic mass migration, EU madness, and Islamic extremism.
The protest will take place outside Dublin's GPO, where Pegida are likely to attract hostile opposition.
You want to be seen as the victims. You want people viewing you like, fucking hell, look how they're getting treated. Give them a chance, you know what I mean?
We're going to say that they're going to attack us and then they attack us. So we'll catch them.
Everyone likes an underdog.
Of course, and we're the ultimate underdog throughout history. As long as the Gardaí are there, because it'll help drive the Gardaí into our camp.
Today is the day of the Pegida rally. Peter and his small group of supporters have come to Dublin, but the sizable crowd he had hoped to attract is notable by its absence.
Well, originally we were expecting maybe in the region of around 100, but those numbers just dropped off with threats. I mean, the original Pegida march in Germany only started with a handful of people, like a literal handful, and now, you know, the biggest march they had was 40,000. They had average marches of 10,000 once they realised, oh, Jesus, these are just normal lads, you know, decent people, so we're hoping for the same result eventually.
It's for that reason that there's so little people turning out with us today, because the ordinary people don't want conflict. We don't want conflict either.
There might be shouting and roaring or people pushing into cops. Now, maybe it won't happen either. But again, you know, you're there, their groups are coming out, you know, AFA type groups and, you know, various groups that say we're going to attack, we're not going to let this happen, we're going to use any means possible. This is all about shutting us up, and we are here today to show we won't be silenced.
A large crowd has gathered at the GPO to protest against the Pegida rally. Adam Sabah has been asked to address the counter-protest.
Hopefully people will realise when as soon as they arrive, first of all, their numbers are small. Second of all, their rhetoric is stupid. I mean, this kind of rubbish is making me nervous. They're trying to get us to react. They're just hoping somebody does something stupid so they can say, look, see, told you these guys are terrible. They're angry and hostile.
You're all very welcome! No to fascism! No to Pegida! No to Islamophobia!
I feel overwhelmed with the amount of support and the people who came.
Pegida is trying to import a racist and fascist model to Ireland. They are exploiting the fear.
I think they're trying to use the fear of the people for their political gain. It's like Donald Trump. They're using the fear of the people, and people are genuinely afraid, and that we can understand. Maybe Pegida could speak to us. They can actually interact with Muslims. They have been hearing about Islam, about Muslims from the media, but I really doubt that they have ever interacted with a Muslim.
The Muslims ever turn around and wonder why people protest them? We're afraid for ourselves, we're afraid for ourselves. Well, maybe you should be. If your religion has gone around and slaughtered 130 people in Paris, or raped or assaulted a load of women in Germany on New Year's Eve, maybe you should be looking into things and wondering why people are not going to accept it. Okay?
My name is Adam Sabah, and I'm Irish. And I'm proud to be Irish. In front of all of you people, I want to say Ireland is absolutely not racist. There are in every society a minority of ignorant people.
Banner. No. Irish citizens. That's what they're about. So, yeah. That's it. No. Next one. Oh, okay. Center of the city. Jesus Christ! Get out! Get out! Get out! Hey! Move! Move! Stop it! Who's there? Get out! Get out! Oh my God!
Immigrant yourselves!
Strike him out! Right. I have a hard head.
Anti-fascists.
What?
Anti-fascists.
Anti-fascists. There you go, anti-fascists.
Over here, fascists.
Unbelievable.
How many of them was there? 20, 30? They got in a couple of...
Only 10
Yeah.
fight the three of us at one time.
Yeah. Here they got a couple
You
of
see this, you mugs? You didn't even get to drop a blood out of me. You fucking fannies. The fucking lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, for fuck's sake, they attack 3 people and scare a load of women on the train. And children being knocked out of the way by these animals.
Is your child okay?
Yeah, Mimi's fine. Thank you. Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud. Say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
A group of Polish Pegida supporters have come to the rally. As they wait for Peter O'Loughlin, they are spotted by counter-protesters.
Just kurwa touch me on time.
Nazi scum off my streets! 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 Nazi scum off my streets!
What's going on? I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but there's no need to be violent. These people are far away. They're a small minority. Just leave them. Stop. Don't fight them. That's what they want. No, don't. That's what they want.
After being barricaded into a shop by the counter-protest, the Pegida supporters are taken away by police.
These people, even though they may be extremists, they may have fascist ideologies, but I don't think that the right way to respond to them is with violence. I think the right way to respond with them is with dialogue.
The last thing we want is a tit-for-tat kind of society where one group attacks another and then the other attacks the other. This is not what we want. Everybody wants to live in peace. I appreciate people's passion, of course, and I thank them for that, but we need to be easy.
Kind of says it all, doesn't it?
The camera away, please. Can't do it, mate. We can't go further on. We've got spotters on us from fucking 100 yards up the road. If we do, mate, we're only going to get another fucking gang of 30 fucking guys, mate. You know?
I don't know, the rest of the lads want to abandon it, but here, we'll be back.
Dad!
All right.
We haven't heard back from the embassy about his visa. It's kind of worrying at this stage. You just can't really do much. You feel like you're stuck basically, and you just can't really, you can't proceed any further because he can't even come for a visit. So it's putting a lot of stress on both of us. And if he doesn't come, we're going to have to find an alternative solution. If it means that I have to move to Egypt, I guess I'll have to do that. I don't want to leave. I really don't want to leave. This is home.
After everything I've been through, now I'm 42 and I can actually say, like, I'm really feeling I'm in my own skin.
We must not forget that there is, you know, thousands of people out there that are not racist.
Genuine,
you know, and they're
decent
genuine, decent people, like, you know. And I suppose that's brilliant to know that, you know. It is getting broken down slowly but surely, but I still feel that we're still in the early side of it, like, you know.
I am very proud to be living in Ireland. I'm very proud of the Irish people. And that's one thing I have to say, I'm happy to call myself Irish. I'm very proud.
Yeah, I got into the guards. Just got the email now. Yeah, so...
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Yes! Nice!
I feel like something is off my heart now. Big stone off my heart now.
Shows that nothing is impossible. All the mothers who see this, they would understand me. They don't need to be Roma. We are mothers.
You, my friend, take Jesus' name in among your other cuss words.
I was born and raised here. I went to school here. I did everything here. How much more Irish does somebody have to be? When I watch the reports from Syria, I don't know, it's heartbreaking. I don't think people understand it. You know, in Ireland, I can go up to Enda Kenny and say, I don't like you. And I can go home and sleep and nobody will say anything to me. In Syria, you go to prison. No trial, no judge, no jury, just the executioner.
Regardless of what anyone says about us, and so many people are trying so hard to turn us into this evil bogeyman, nobody has anything to fear from us. They literally don't. Nobody. And you know, we haven't the slightest issue of working with people from foreign backgrounds and migrant backgrounds. Once they care about this country, once they want the best for this country, that's fine by us.
In the general election, Identity Ireland's Peter O'Loughlin got 183 votes.
Hello, Mum.
Hi, baby.
So, Mum, I just wanted to say hi to the new president of the DOT Students' Union. I hope you're happy, Mum.
I'm so happy. You are. Oh.
Yes, Mum.
God bless you.
God bless you too, Mum. Love you, bro. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop. Take it easy, bro. It's gone. You did it, bro. You did it, man. Fuck me.
The final part of our series exploring facets of identity is I Am Irish, next week at 9:30. Catch a taste of what's to come in just a few moments. Well, a few schedule changes this Sunday here on 2. Criminal Minds moves to the earlier time of 9 and Trapped is at 5 to 10. Next up tonight though, First Dates UK.